It started off as a problem in my first venture.
Tony has built this startup from scratch.
We wanted to create collaborations between, let's take the example of a local supermarket, doubling down on what problem is there in the market.
A brand that is going to change the online shopping experience. We bring to you raw and real stories of startup founders, entrepreneurs who are changing the future of India. Today we have an exciting guest with us, Tony, the founder of Bae, a brand that is going to change the online shopping experience. From idea to execution, Tony has built this startup from scratch. Let's dive into the conversation with him and understand what it takes to build a startup and how different is this Bay different from any other shopping platforms. Welcome to my show. Thank you so much for being part of my show.
Thank you so much, Hunain, for having me. And it's a pleasure connecting with Feature with Hunain and the audience of Feature with Hunain. And it's my immense pleasure in explaining what we have, how far we have come and what we've been doing so far.
How this idea of Bay came to an existence.
So starting off, it started off as a problem in my first venture, which was a quick commerce platform. Like primarily, like we had like lots and lots of discussions with business owners, all the existing channels of advertisements and marketing. It's not getting to a point where it is actually solving their problem, right? So, like, we wanted to get to a point where we democratize something that is available to every business owner. So they make, they are able to position themselves in the market in a way where, like, they get to position their uniqueness, they get to connect with people around them in the best ways possible, in the most frugal ways possible, and it is as simple as that for them to connect with customers. So that's how Bay came into existence. So, like how we approached it, like we wanted to democratize strategic partnerships. So that's how we got started with Bay. And we got to a point where like we wanted to create collaborations between two small business owners or multiple small business owners, and that's how we came into a platform on top of which collaborations between businesses can happen. And now it has evolved into an ecosystem which is primarily reshaping shopping. So, like, given it's a base for businesses on one side and shoppers on the other side, like we are building something which will simplify both their experiences and bring out the best out of it with AI coming into picture. So yeah, that's
Okay. Okay.
all about Bay. Yeah.
So what is the core problem you're trying to solve? Either it is from the partnership end that any platform, existing platform is into, right? Are you trying to corely solve their problem, or are you going to solve the problem of the end users who are experiencing shopping in today's time?
So, like the core problem that we are trying to solve, yes, I agree to your point where you have mentioned saying strategic partnerships. I mean, that's how we got started. But doubling down on what problem is there in the market, we had to get to a point where we uh, could clearly see that there is a disconnect between businesses on one side and consumers on the other. Like the connection between these two is not in the best ways possible, right? Let's take the example of a local supermarket. And if you look at the regular customer of the local supermarket, he is buying from the supermarket, but if you ask him like how well he is connected to the supermarket, it's not that great. So primarily, we wanted to fill this gap. This is on one side. Number two, there is another problem where there is a business that's out there that is looking to connect with the right audience that they want to connect. Given there is too much noise in the market, this is not happening at ease, right? Like this, people are struggling with finding the right products and the right businesses that they want to get. I mean, start transacting with. Businesses, they are struggling with finding the right customers at the end of the day. So this has resulted in like rising ad costs and too much noise in the market. You throw a search on either Google or any big search engines for that matter, you end up getting a lot of information which is too much noise, right? So this is a problem from both ends. So the core problem that we are trying to solve is like we are going to simplify the way businesses connect with customers and customers relate to businesses. So this is the core problem that we are addressing and that we are solving now.
Absolutely. Coming back to the platform or the product that you have built, if you can help us understand in a very basic terms, so how it is going to work for the users as well as for the partners who are going to be part of your platform.
Sure. So the product is very simple and upfront. You go into the platform, you speak what you want. It'll primarily support you with discovery of the product. Let's say you voice and saying, I'm looking for a mobile, right? So it'll initially take insights from you as to what product you need before even getting here. So what happens when you onboard on the platform is that you will already be profiled. So when you onboard on the platform, we know your name, we'll take your age, gender, and your shopping interest. So we'll already have a knowledge base, an ecosystem that's built around you. So Bay knows you, right? Bay, the intelligence layer knows you. And now, like on the other side, like Bay also knows the internet as to what all products and services are there in the internet. So now you give it a prompt. It's not just a prompt, but it is a contextual prompt that is very specific to you, right? So Hunain, who is around 30 years old and he is a male, his shopping interests are these. And given his shopping interest, given his age, and given he is from this particular locality of the world, like you speak in this context goes as a trigger to source that specific product that will suit you in the best ways possible. This is step number one. Number two, it'll go on to find the best buying options that are available today. One, the best buying option, it'll ensure that you get the best price that day. Yeah, like the lowest price from the most reputable platform is something that we end up offering you. Number two, it'll also try and understand you get the best possible rewards that are out there for the particular purchase you make. Like it could be cashbacks, it could be coupons, it could be any form of rewards. So that's number two. Number three, you also have an opportunity to bargain, right? Like how this works. So it'll go on to trigger the network stores that are on way saying this particular person, Mr. Hunain, is looking for this particular product and the lowest price available in the market today with all these rewards and everything is this. So, is there anyone who's willing to give a better offer than this? Like, that's the trigger that goes to every store. So, you end up bargaining for that particular product, as in Bay does that for you. You negotiate and you get the best of deals. Like you don't have to wait for a big billion day sale or like Black Friday sale or like when the best price happens, right? Like you do it straight away with the bargain feature that we have. Now with all of this, you have the best product discovered, then you have the best buying options, then you end up also bargaining for the particular product, and now you are all set to make that particular purchase with all the rewards and everything, and you end up making the purchase. And this will continuously enrich your knowledge base. So that's how it works.
Uh, on the strategic partners point of view, how or what value addition they are getting in this situation? As you told about, there are a lot of offers or existing businesses shedding across a lot of offers and trying to give the best price for our customers. But then at the same time, you're also asking them to reduce down their prices for your users. So what is that one thing which is exciting them to join you as a partner?
So point number one, any which way they're actually selling at that price, they eventually negotiate down to. Because let's say I'm a shopper, I go to a particular store. Like I go to multiple stores to make, let's take the example of a mobile purchase, right? I end up going to like 4, 5 stores and I negotiate saying here I'm getting so much price and here I'm getting so much price. So, like, what happens when one individual is making a purchase? He's spending almost a day in a particular purchase. So, this is not a waste of time just for the individual, but it is a waste of time for the businesses as well. right? The businesses keep waiting, saying, okay, this guy is going to come back, like that is going to be a price that we'll have to declare on. So all this happens on the business end as well. So what we are doing is we are cutting like that. So initially you are saving on time. You like the sales cycle is shortened, saying the time from like a prompt is given to the purchase is made, we are shortening that. Like all of this is shortened. That's value add number one. Number two, this will accelerate more and more users coming to you at the end of the day. Like the person giving the best value is going to end up having the highest number of customers at the end of the day. That's number two. Number three, we have this platform where businesses can connect with the users through a follow feature that we have, like which is a commerce socialization provision where the individual gets to follow that particular business and the business can keep the individual posted about the offers that are ahead, right? And we also have a deal circulation engine through which the best deals by the individual can also be circulated through other businesses that are around him. So he's getting to acquire new customers. He's able to shorten the sales cycle in the best ways possible. He's also getting to engage his customers. He's also getting to retain his customer. So these are the four value adds any businesses that comes on Bay end up getting.
Right. I see that actually the core challenges that business partners are facing today are going to be addressed from Bay. That I understood that. I would like to know about your launch. Like, did you launch your product now? Or if you have launched it already, what are your biggest challenges you guys are facing? Or any specific ask you would like to put across here, so that if any specific person is watching on to this video would like to connect with you, if he can add any value to you.
When it comes to the product, like we have piloted that in a particular city in Tamil Nadu. We are in stealth at the moment, but we are taking the product public in the subsequent weeks. So that's in line. And when it comes to the unique challenges, initially, like we were like I mean, across the company, we were trying to set the process up. Now, given that the process is set up, now we have started working towards optimizing the process in the best ways possible. Unique challenges, I'd say, like the distribution model that we had previously was a very time-taking, strenuous, less scalable direction that we took. And now we have gotten to a point where like we can launch the product anywhere. Like let's say we want to launch it today in Mumbai, we can do that. But in the previous model, we had dependency saying we have to hire a team there, onboard stores, have enough stores so that we get some momentum going around there. So this we have sorted out now, like through different partnerships and integrations that we have made. So now we are in a very scalable model where we can launch anywhere and everywhere. So that's one reason we are taking a mass reach mode where we want to tell everyone saying wherever you are, you can start using Bay. We don't have a limit in terms of we have to limit to a specific area. This is one side of it. And on the flip side, like you mentioned, the kind of ask we want to have, we are looking at more people who can come in on this. And primarily, this is more of a ecosystem that we are building, and this is primarily a movement, right? So it's not like we are building a just another e-commerce platform or just another cab services platform. It's not like that. We are creating a platform which is new in its own ways, and we are trying to reshape the way people shop. So that being the case, like we want a lot of bright minds coming into this, make a big difference in what we are trying to build. That's one. And number two, like we are also looking at visionary leaders coming in on this. So we end up making a difference globally because we don't want to limit just to India. I mean, the direction that we are taking and the structure we have internally is very much global from day one, including the kind of advisory board that we have, the kind of mentors that we have. So we have the ex-CEO of Wipro who's mentoring us. The first few investors that we have is from Silicon Valley. We have a bunch of people from Silicon Valley who are supporting this. And we have like people who are supporting us from Singapore, Southeast Asia, the rest of Southeast Asia, and we have people from Middle East Asia supporting us, South Africa. So with people like this on board, like we are looking at more such people coming in on this, which I believe will make a lot of difference. And with all being said, like we want to be global early on, so that's one key direction we are consciously moving towards. So anyone who can make a difference that way, we are completely open for discussions on that. Hunain. So yeah.
Absolutely. One thing which I feel is most important in any business, that is letting people know that you have built something, and like reaching to the right person who can be a part of your company as a customer, or as a partner, or any vendor for that matter. So what I'm trying to convey here is, what are your marketing channels that you guys are using to reach people? Because as being a marketing specialist from last 10 years, who is into like digital marketing, communication management, and all this stuff, I would like to understand what are your key strategies that you guys are working on to reach to the people.
Like to get into the marketing efforts that we are putting into this, like I'll give you a little bit of brief. Like I've worked in things that are primarily like taking a product from one level to another level and make it as big as possible. So with this being the case, yes, we are doing all the traditional methods of marketing, like we are doing the social media marketing efforts that goes into it. Uh, but we are like ensuring that we are keeping the inorganic efforts as low as possible, given the frugal approach that we are giving towards it. So our approach is very upfront. We are making all possible organic efforts, which are as creative as possible in terms of making it reach the bulk of people at the end of the day. So, uh, I mean, one such effort is like collaborating with podcasters, collaborating with micro influencers who are like quite early believers. Like Hunain is actually an early believer of what we are making, right? So we are collaborating with people like this who can actually amplify what we are trying to convey to the market. So our efforts are like not limited to any specific thing saying we have a structured social media marketing approach, or like we have like a specific organic marketing approach which is generally there in the market. We have not limited things that way. All we are trying to do is make as much noise possible with the limited possible resources. So the way we have structured it is initially make a noise, create some reputation in the market with the noise that you create, and then try to amplify it. So this is the loop that we are trying to crack. And then our efforts will be very much around working towards bringing more network effects around this, right? So that will include WhatsApp marketing, Telegram marketing that goes into it. We'll do more of influencer collaborations, podcaster collaborations. And one conscious direction that we are taking is that we want to do it through mass media from day one. That's a very conscious direction that we are taking. And with that intention, we have made the product as simple as that so that anyone who is looking at, looking at anything about Bay anywhere, they end up going into the platform, start using it. So that's something we are, keeping in mind from day one, right? So our effort is very simple. We have a mass approach with decent reputation. Then we amplify that, and then again create some reputation around that. Then we keep the loop going. So that's the approach towards marketing.
For any business who has started from initially, right? So first and foremost thing that they look for is an initial traction, or people coming to your platform, buying something from your platform. If it is a product, someone buying it and experiencing it. So I would like to know, what was the response from the initial bunch of people who have been part of your platform as users? So what was their feedback when they started experiencing this Bing?
So we made an intentional direction where we never spoke with someone we knew already, because we wanted brutal criticisms on the product. So with that being the intention, we spoke with business owners we never knew before, right? There will be no lens saying, okay, I know this person, I know this product, or I know this place, nothing. So we just went to them. They didn't know who we are. We didn't know who they are. We just knew the store. We spoke to them. We just told them like this is the problem that we are trying to solve, and we had a small prototype by the time we went to them. Like we wanted to build public, right? I mean, we wanted to keep it public in terms of building that. Although we went, I mean, we were in stealth. We wanted to ensure that the people who are like who we are networking in the first place, they should be knowing what we are doing. So we explained them in the most simple ways possible that they can relate to. To give you more context, like we spoke to 10 people first. Only then we figured out what needs to be spoken, right? Till then, we didn't know like what exactly was to be spoken to them, right? So we spoke to 10 people, few like, I mean, they got annoyed, few were giggling, like few were like sarcastic, saying, oh, okay, right? And we eventually doubled out saying, okay, now we know like what is not right. Now we'll double down on what needs to be spoken. And then we went to the next bunch of people with whom we started discussing, okay, this is what it is. We have made a prototype and this is what we are trying to make. So like you will be surprised because I myself I was surprised. We had 90% conversion just with the prototype. So people started like buying in on the idea, buying in on the product. They were like, okay, when we can use the product. So that was the question that we got from 90% of people that we spoke on. So and that quite I mean persuaded me more to pursue I mean this idea and the product more aggressively because we ended up having 400 businesses purely through word of mouth. Like I mean I wouldn't say word of mouth. Like we did sales. I was the one who brought in the first 100 customers, the first 100 businesses on the platform, and the businesses they had like 100 customers any day. So that was getting us eyeballs. So with 100 customers coming on board just in 1 month, we went on to do the same with the salesperson. And in 6 months' time, we ended up having 400 businesses on the platform, right? With all the training of the salesperson put into picture, all of that. In 6 months, from day one to month six, we ended up having 400 businesses. And this direction was great. One thing that we were like keen about all this while was like we kept asking them about like we wanted to deep dive into the particular problem they were talking about. Like we wanted to know more, right? So we kept speaking to them about the problems. But one thing we were very keen as well, saying we never took solution suggestions from them because that can turn out to be messy, right? So we took the problems. We were like clearly having a narrative as to what all problems were there. Yes, there was noise, but what we ended up with was we had a clear narrative saying, okay, given these are the problems, what are those solutions that can be tailored into our product? And this product is made with the problem statements given by all of these people. And we eventually went on to them to eventually make them use the product now. And that's exactly where we are right now.
As you have told, like you have gained around 400 partners in your first initial phase, right? So pitching your idea or pitching your business to your users come a long way from the way you started initially, right? I want you to give me a pitch of just 30 seconds for users.
If you want to cut through the noise and have an intelligent assistant to help you buy something, it can be anything, right? Starting from a shoe for yourself, a car, a bike, maybe your daily essentials. I mean, that's where like it becomes all the more supportive. Or you want to buy some beauty products, or you want to buy some footwear. So this will know you in the first place, and this will also know what is on the internet in the next place. And there is an intelligent layer on top of which it will process your request, and it will give you the best products that are there in the market for you, and then it will also support you with the best buying options that are available in the market for you, and it will also negotiate to get you better prices. And last but not the least, it will also end up getting you the best rewards that you can think of, starting from cashbacks to coupons to rewards of any sort. So if you want to have a very simple shopping experience, I think Bay is something you should look for.
I would like to know about your journey, ki how and what learnings you have received in as an entrepreneur. As you told, right, you have a good long experience of corporate experience of around 6 9 years, right? So the moment you started up as an entrepreneur or a startup founder, what it has taught you?
Great. So, I mean, my like a lot of people might be able to relate to my learnings. Reason being, I come from background that has no business experience. Like my parents are government professionals. Like they were working with the government. Like they were salaried for a very long time. And the first time when I spoke to them about business, like I think. That was quite a nightmare, right? Like they were like, why do you want to even try something like this? Go to a good job, get decent earnings. And the best part was I was in NIT Raipur and I had like decent campus placements happening. I cracked into a few as well, but but this didn't let me sleep. The idea that was on my mind didn't let me sleep. So, uh, in terms of learnings, point number one, like there are like very frugal ways of getting big, right? So like more very often like businesses think that okay, like if we want to look at business then we need money. If we want to do something around being self-employed, we need money. There are a lot of ways of making money even without investing anything. Just your time and your knowledge is, and intelligence is more than enough to get started. This is my first, I wouldn't say advice, it's more of a suggestion. And number two, if you are not convinced with what you want to make out of life, you cannot convince anyone, right? So before even getting to like, if you want to talk to your parents, if you want to talk to someone who you want to convince, you have to convince yourself first, right? So do your research, do your homework, and I mean, like it is always a trend where people think that okay, startup is a fancy word, getting started with business is a fancy word, and like they think that it's all like fancy life out there. Yes, it is fancy in ways possible, but getting started and getting to a point is not that easy. So you have to first decide whether you are like completely ready. So convince yourself before you're thinking of convincing anyone else, right? This is number two. Number three, if you're planning to do something, go all in on that, right? So maybe like it's completely fine to have second thoughts, but you have to be very sure about what you're trying to make at the end of the day, right? It's completely fine to have like 70% confidence on something, but it's definitely not okay to have 30% confidence on something and 70% you're like, oh, we might fail types. That's not okay. If you're like that, then you're not doing the right thing, right? Number four, like it all it takes is just you, right? Like if the best thing that I've experienced so far is people actually think that I should know everything before I get started. No, right? All you have to know is what you know at the end of the day. If you don't know something, you should network as much as possible. Reach out to people who know that best. And you should take the best possible support from people to make that big. You cannot make something big just with you alone. It like, yes, it works to an extent, but you will be in the best of shape possible when you have a lot of people that are there to support you. That's number four. Number five, don't be too dependent on something or someone for your daily motivation or for your daily, I mean, for you to get up and running. Just have a discipline around it instead of waiting for motivation to push you there. Uh, right? You get started at 8:30, 9 o'clock any day. You start with your work, even if you want like frequent breaks, that's completely fine, but get to a discipline where you start your day at like a defined time and then you have a decent plan for the day, keep it going. There might be backlogs, but with time this discipline is something that will take you places. So don't wait for motivation to push you somewhere.
The first learning which you spoke about money, right? So I remember that. So I would like to know that how you are scaling your startup right now. So is it bootstrapped or you have gained some funding for your company?
Sure. Like when I spoke about money, like I was purely bootstrapped. The first startup was purely bootstrapped. So, giving you more insight on that, like we got to thousands of players. We were doing like $100 per month. Like we were doing B2B commerce at that point in time. All this we achieved only with 2,000 rupees per month. We achieved this in 8 months. So with 16,000 rupees, we got to one such scale, right? So free as in it doesn't come literally for free. Uh, and one other thing is that the best time to get started is at college. Because you will have like a lot of people who are out there who can potentially become your early believers, who can become a very strong teammate of yours with whom you can get started. You can network at least at college. You will know people in the best way possible at college. You will find like a plenty of people with a lot of skills at the end of the day. So college is the best place to get started. Now, getting back to where we are in terms of funding, like we've been bootstrapping till about March of this year, and we have gotten our first round of investment, like an angel money that has come into our platform, a very small sum, who is an early believer of what we are trying to build, and he has put in like uh, 5 lakh rupees as it has gotten started, and we are looking to raise more money around that. And now, like talking about the subsequent steps that we are taking, like we are looking at a venture round or a brains round, I should say. Like we are open to angels and VCs coming in on this. So the kind of money that we are looking to raise now is purely focused on scaling the product beyond, or like to put it in the best language possible. We want to take it to as many people possible. So that will only happen with more money coming in. So now we are sure that we know what we want to do with the money that is going to come in. So, like my suggestion again to people who are starting up is that before you know for sure as to what you're going to do with the money that you're going to get, please don't decide on funding, right? Have a clear path as to what you're going to achieve with it, and only then you will have a clear path towards, if at all you're going to the subsequent rounds, or you have a way towards like getting the subsequent steps in your startup, you will have a clear path towards that. Otherwise, like it will become a mess.
So the moment we started discussing, the initial thought that I have was not on this call, but we were the time we started discussing about this podcast, that how Bay is going to earn money. So what is his business model? So if you can put a light on that, so that if any investor would like to have some interest on your startup, right? This section can be his most important section to relook at it and understand what Bay does.
Point number one, like we have this provision where you bid for winning a lead, right? For that, we have a participation fee. So let's say there is a business that is looking to win a particular lead, they'll have to pay us. That's number one. That's our first revenue stream. And number two, we have this deal circulation engine through which people can circulate deals through other businesses to people of interest. That is again chargeable. Like we charge people for that. One other area that we take money from businesses is the recommendation engine. So, if you want to be a part of the intelligent recommendation engine, that's something we charge businesses for. Like it comes in the form of a like cost per sale is something that we are looking at, and that's the direction that we are taking. So, putting it upfront, you pay on the sale that happens, like you give a cut on the sale that happens, and number two, you pay on like giving you visibility, like you get your deal circulated through other business through which you get visibility. On that you pay us. And number three, you end up, maybe like this is not for now, but we also have a plan on giving a SaaS subscription model towards which people might end up paying, like where we'll have like better analytics provisions for businesses, and like they'll have a much equipped ecosystem of tools that they'll have access to which they'll end up paying. So these are the three revenue channels that we are looking at today.
Like I happen to work with a lot of e-commerce platforms, e-commerce founders. Like I provide services to them as building their online presence on social media platforms, performance marketing, and all this stuff. So this is similar to that platform itself, but I would like to understand whether it is an e-commerce platform wherein any person would selling a product or a service or any professional service for that matter can be a part of Bay, or he needs to have his own e-commerce engine. You just have to leverage Bay for upscaling his sales.
I think there are two questions to your question that you just asked. Point number one, we are not an e-commerce platform. We are a layer on top of all the shopping platforms, right? So this is going to squeeze down. So let's say you given a search or like you given a particular prompt to the platform, it'll run through most platforms that are there in the market, and it'll, I mean, given it's a layer on top of all the existing shopping layers, you get responses from across the platforms. So let's say you go into Flipkart or you go into Amazon, you give a particular search, it will show the products from Flipkart and Amazon. So there is no, I mean, yes, they have a very robust data layer that has a very good picture about you. But they has an additional intelligent layer that knows you better, right? So that knows different aspects of you, and it knows you better in terms of the intelligent ecosystem that's being built around you. So what happens? It is not going to limit to a specific shopping platform, or it's not a shopping platform in it. That's in itself in first place. Number two, it's not going to limit to a specific shopping platform. So it's going to look at all the products that are there in the internet and all the services that are there in the internet, and it is going to give you the most specific, appropriate ones that are relevant to you. So you can look at it like Perplexity or the Google for, uh, I mean, this specific use case that we have built it for. So it's an intelligent agent that does shopping for you, and it's not an e-commerce platform.
Absolutely, Tony. It was really nice interacting with you. I really loved your platform, Bay. I would like to be a part of your platform as a user and enhance my shopping experience that I used to do before and understand how it is different from the other platforms.
Had a very casual discussion at the end of the day. So that's something I had. I mean, it was so exciting for me to. I mean, the whole time it was exciting and fun. So thank you for that. Thank you for keeping me warm and like keeping the whole session warm. So that's. I'm looking for this podcast evolving into something big and different. And all the best to Hunain. And like we are going to be together in this whole journey. So thank you so much, and thanks a lot for the whole thing, Hunain. Yeah.